This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today, we are taking you on an adventure. We want to help you to get to a point where you achieve all of your dreams and goals. Everything that you want to achieve can be yours, okay? You just simply have to take consistent action over a long period of time and get exponential growth. Understand exponential growth, guys. It is insane, and that's what I want you to get. Fairy tales. I want you to get your fairy tales. What is a fairy tale? How does it usually end? Okay, growing up as a Norwegian boy, you hear these fairy tales all of the time, and it was basically from those Danish guys, I believe. But anyway, there's tons of fairy tales. You've heard them before as well. What do they usually get at the end? They get the princess and half of the kingdom. Okay, which is basically God saying that, hey, you can have half of my kingdom. Obviously it's not half of his kingdom because his kingdom is massive, right? But it's the kingdom that you can get. Okay, there's a massive kingdom you can get, but it's not getting it on the other side. It's about getting it in this life, because he wants that for you as well. And it's not just about getting one princess, it's about getting 3 beautiful princesses. Okay, so if we're talking about that, let's talk about your journey in achieving those things. Okay, because the biggest problem that people have in terms of getting what they want is not being able to focus. Okay, focus is the name of the game. If you focus on something for a long period of time, you're going to get it. If you're consistent and taking action every single day, and the more you take action doing something, right, instead of taking 1 hour action a day, imagine if you could do 10. Okay, this is a bit later in the process. In the beginning, now you should have several jobs. Okay, don't build your business only in the beginning. Have several jobs and then build your business 1 hour a day. But eventually you'll have so much to do in your business, so much money that you're making in your business, that it doesn't make any sense to have these full-time jobs, because you could make 10 times more in your business, if that makes sense. So that's the time you quit those. But then imagine taking 10-hour actions every single day in your business. Consistency and focus. That's the only problem you have. So if you can overcome the aspect of figuring out, why are you not focused? Why aren't you achieving the things that you're supposed to achieve? Because it really takes only 6 months to 18 months to get absolute massive momentum in your business if you're doing it right. If you're not doing it right, then hire a coach, right? A business coach who knows what he's doing. But if you are doing it right, it actually should only take 6 to 8 months. And if it's not, something is seriously wrong with the process. And also you are being massively distracted, meaning you're not focused. Okay, that's the only reason it's not happening for you. So you understand that it's a time aspect. You take consistent massive action over a certain period of time. Okay, the longer period of time, the more consistent action you have, the more the exponential growth is going to happen for you. This is basically you killing the dragon. Killing the dragon is necessary for you to get the lifestyle that you want. And killing the dragon is really learning financial freedom, understanding financial literacy, understanding how money can work for you instead of you working for money for the rest of your life. So if you understand that aspect of it, let's kill the dragon. What are the biggest distractions from you killing the dragon? Guess what? It's those maids, it's those girls that are not as beautiful as your 3 princesses that are messing around with your distraction right now. Very often it's like these princesses on a screen or a device that you're looking at, and they're doing something with some people, and that's what you're stuck doing continuously every single day. Like, we got to get rid of that. Obviously, that's not helping you kill the dragon. Staying at home and doing things that are not drawing you towards those 3 princesses, right? Okay, so once we get clear of that with semen retention and nofap, then we can begin to clear the path to killing the dragon. How do you kill the dragon? You've got to get rid of all the other women as well. Every woman, okay, that is in your vicinity should be avoided romantically. They're there as friends, they're as sisters, they're all that stuff, but they're not the three princesses. The three princesses are not ready for you yet. They don't want you right now. Okay? They're there, they're out there. But listen to this. I want you to understand this principle and understand it once and for all. Donald Trump is what? 73, 75, something like that, okay? Melania Trump is 50 years old. So 23 years age difference. Not a big deal, right? So understand this. Right now, if you're 15, 16, 17, 18, up to 30 years old, okay, if you're 30 years old, this still applies to you. If you're beginning to get 35, okay, it still applies to you though. If you look at the women that you are interested in right now, if you're feminine, you're interested in them because they're interested in you. That's femininity. You're interested in them because they're the highest value women that are interested in you, meaning they're the most beautiful women that you can find who are giving you attention. Those women, compared to what you can get in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, unfortunately, I have to tell you, are not the quality women that you can get if you kill the dragon first. Could you, like, are you with me on that? Like, comment in the section if you agree. Killing the dragon first will make sure that you are able to attract more top-notch quality women in the future who not only desire monogamy, one-on-one relationship with you, but who are actually willing and fired up about sharing you with their two best friends. Okay? Sharing you. Every person knows what's going on, and it's a closed relationship. There's no more women after that. It's only those three, and those three know that, and they dedicate the rest of their lives to your cause and to their family. That's what we're trying to create. And if you don't kill the dragon, but you basically remain a peasant forever, then you will remain with one woman and basically try and figure out life, as a peasant. Become a warrior. Kill the dragon first. The dragon is your financial foundation so that you can get the three princesses that are flippin' amazing in 5 to 10 years' time. What is flippin' amazing? Girls between the age of 18 and 22. If you're 30 years old, you take a break right now. You stop dating girls that are your age or older. Some guys do that. And completely get rid of that. And you stop dating girls that are 25. You stop dating girls that are 24. Like, do you understand what I mean? If you're 30 years old, you should be eliminating any romantic relationship with women. I'm just using that age as an example now, so that you can spend 18 months, 2 years, maximum 3 years if you have a coach. Like, it's ridiculous how much you can achieve in terms of financial foundation in 3 years if you simply got rid of the partying, rid of the drinking, rid of the stimulants, rid of the women altogether to focus on killing the dragon first. Priorities. Get that priority right. Killing the dragon requires consistency daily over a long period of time. The more people you serve, the more rejection you get, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, the more value you've got to bring to the people. And the more value you've got, the more value you receive in return. It's as simple as day and night. It's so easy once you understand it. But what's difficult is you being stuck in your feminine ways of needing women right now. No, women need men. Men don't need women. Masculinity doesn't need women, but we use women as motivation to get fired up outside our brains, but also to have joy and happiness, right? You won't be able to have optimal, massive joy and happiness for the rest of your life if you remain a monk forever, obviously. But You can do it for a short period of time to get focused, laser focused, and use all of your sexual drive towards achieving your dreams and goals that has nothing to do with the women. But once you use those 18 months to 2 years to achieve your financial foundation once and for all, and it's exponential growth, the women, trust me, are coming out of the woodwork, and they're going to be top-notch, high quality between the age of 18 and 22. And if you're below the age of 32, 33, right? There's nothing wrong with you dating girls that age. If you go beyond there, you're going to have to date, because it's not societally appropriate. If you're 35 years old and older and you're like, no, I'm only going for 18, 22-year-olds. Like, you begin like, bro, like, get someone your own age. That's how people are going to think. But then you find a girl that's 23, 24. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, if you're 40 years old, it's okay for you to get a 25-year-old. But below that, it's kind of like, it's kind of 10 to 15 years is the thing. and that's okay. But you'll have to be like, but if you're 50 years old, I would still tell you right now, if you don't have women in your life, be voluntary celibate. Cut off the goal of I need to have sexual relations with the woman. Cut off that goal and just focus on killing the dragon. And you can have, maybe you can marry someone, or I mean, maybe you can attract 3 women that are 20 years younger than you are at that time. Having 3 30-year-olds at 50 is not a problem. Okay? I'm telling you what you can achieve. The only thing that women are attracted to is confidence. How do you develop confidence? Is about you mastering an area of life. And in order for you to have a family, it's not about just mastering women, because there's tons of young guys that are mastering women, and they're mastering women. Do you know how easy it is to sleep around these days? Have you noticed? That's like almost too easy. Yeah, it's too easy. Like, we want. Do you understand what? Oh my gosh, guys who sleep around and they think they're amazing, but they suck. And they know that personally, because they managed to get the girl, but they don't manage to actually create the fantasy that they wanted in the bedroom. That's a sign that you suck. Okay? You understand that? There are certain things you don't understand. If your life sucks right now, it's because of your ignorance on a certain subject. You don't know what you don't know. So instead of trying to figure out the most difficult aspect of life, which is a woman and her sexuality, forget about that point right now. Forget about it. Instead of you thinking about how can I last longer in bed, forget about that right now. How can is edging good or bad? Forget about that right now. You're focused on killing the dragon. It has nothing to do with your sexuality, because your sexuality takes care of your motivation and you being fired up on a continual basis automatically. I'm so grateful for that. The millions of sperm cells that are being produced on a continual daily basis all of the time. You don't have to think at all about it. It just works on its own. Isn't that amazing? And since it works on its own, you can think about something else. That's cool. If you understand that principle, you can actually get ahead in life. You can focus and use that motivation that sperm production produces to be consistent on a daily basis over a long period of time until you achieve your purpose. Okay? Women are not good for you right now, and they are not the quality of women that you can get. If you're thinking about being with a woman for the long term, for the rest of your life, and you're actually okay with being monogamous with her, you're still in your feminine frame. You will never become masculine completely and to the nth degree that God designed for you to get without having 3 women. Okay? Monogamy will never be able to give you that masculinity, because you'll always be attached, like I mentioned in that video about reproductive cycles. You will be attached to her reproductive cycle continuously for the rest of your life. So instead, cut that off. It's kind of like, How do you achieve a goal? You're here on A. This is from the book Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Fantastic book. You're here, A. You want B. You want to get there. Okay, you know the easiest way to to basically to avoid the tension, okay? Because there's a tension. If you're here and there's B, there's tension right here because you want that, but you don't have it yet. So you need to go get it. So there's tension there, and you're trying to move towards it. If the way to break the tension is by cutting off the tension, you're basically, oh, I don't want B. Amazing. So now there's no tension anymore. This is what a guy sent me some Buddhist stuff, which, respect them, wonderful people, all that stuff. But the Buddhist thinking is that you should basically avoid desire, okay? Because if you do avoid desire, you'll avoid suffering. They're basically using this one. They're saying, bro, cut your desire for financial wealth, and then you won't suffer as much anymore. You can live on less, live on less. That's a problem, because you also live on less, but you're also not doing good in the world. You're not solving problems for people. And you also, instead of not being filled with desire, you're just observing the world. Trust me, that's feminine. You want to take massive action in solving problems for other people and making society a better place. And improving your life, and also being on the forefront of luxuries. Why would you not be that? All rich people have been on the front row of luxuries since the beginning of time. Why? Because they're the one who have the money, inventors and people who have technology and amazing things. They come to the rich people first and say, hey, we've got these amazing things, check them out. Sometimes rich people get that stuff for free because the inventors and those people that have these products, they basically, hey, try this out for free, and if you like it, maybe you can endorse it. It's amazing what happens when you become rich, okay? Because everything just becomes easier. You get free stuff. It's like passive income. Everything just flows to you automatically. If you're a Buddhist monk, that can't happen because you've cut off the desire, because you don't want the suffering of desiring something. That sucks, okay? So if you look at it from that standpoint, you want to have tension between you and your financial goals in the beginning. Forever. I want you to have tension with that forever. Keep setting goals and improve, and find out what your potential is. Is your potential $1 billion? Is your potential $1 trillion? Like, do you understand? What is your potential? It's kind of interesting to check it out. What goal right now do you have that's a massive distraction in terms of achieving that other goal? If you're not focused on one goal, if you have two goals, then you're diversifying. Okay? And it's not necessary in this setting. When it comes to women, it's necessary. You can't just have one. You have to have three. But in terms of this, right now, trust me, it's a distraction. You don't need it right now. Let's focus on the financial goal. So what do you do with the romantic goal right now? You cut it off. There's tension between you guys. You're attached to her reproductive cycle. What do? You cut it off. When do you not cut it off? When you've got kids or when you're married. Okay, if you're married, you're not going to cut it off, right? You're going to make it work. If you got kids, you're going to make it work. Okay, however, if she leaves you and takes the kids, you're going to cut it off, right? Those kids are important to you, but if she doesn't want you really involved in her life, you cut it off. Why? So that you can focus. Because she's going to talk trash about you to those kids forever anyway. So it's time for you to cut off that relationship and move on with your life. Your boys are going to respect you if you're rich, and they're going to come back and want money. At that time, you can begin to influence them. For those of you guys who have kids. But for most of you guys who are watching my channel, you're single, you don't have any kids, and you're basically, diversified. You got tons of distractions, all these exciting things happening in the world. Cut it off. There is nothing else. You choose to not care about anything else except for serving people. Why? Because when you're in the service of other people, you're in the service of your God. Why? Because that's what he wants us to do. He wants everyone to serve each other. When we serve each other, we're loving others. And when we love others, we're being kind to them. Who are the people you're the kindest to? Your customers. Why? Because you want them to come back, right? Your business partners, because you want them to keep working with you. You got to focus on those relationships. Very often, the most important relationship in your life is your romantic relationship, and you have to prioritize that over your customers and your business partners. That's diversification. You need to, for a certain period of time, I say 18 to 24 months at least, until you get at least 100K US dollars in net worth. That's 100,000 US dollars net worth before we entered the hyperinflation. Okay. Basically, yeah, 10 Bitcoins as an example. So you understand voluntary celibacy. This is the biggest benefit to voluntary celibacy, is that you cut off the goal and the tension of needing women. Because the moment you don't need women anymore, there is no tension. There's only sexual tension. But you're using that sexual tension to achieve your financial goals, killing the dragon first, so that you can have the women of your dreams who are excited and willing to share you with their two best friends, because they understand the principles of Three Girls in Love. They understand that their sexual lives will be so much more fulfilling. Like, we're talking 50 times more fulfilling, 100 times more fulfilling, because it's lifelong fulfillment that they will get from that. Until they're 95 flippin' years old, until they die, they're going to have fulfilling sex lives. Okay, it's ridiculous, but that's how Three Girls in Love works. Monogamy, you get, honeymoon phase, 3 months, maybe you get a year, yeah. And then it's downhill from there, and it'll probably never be revived. And if it does revive, it revives when all the kids have moved out, none of your kids have problems anymore, and you're 60 years old. That's not, I want enjoyment and sexual fulfillment throughout my entire life with semen retention. And I want my women to have sexual fulfillment throughout their entire lives. It's an emotional need. And that's why a lot of issues are happening in families these days, and why they get divorced. Why do you think they get divorced? It's because of what happens in the bedroom 99% of the time. Monogamy. So anyway, let's go through. He's so consistent. Good for him. It's not about, it's not about me being consistent. I'm talking about helping you to become consistent. You can do this. You can be voluntary celibate. Let's see. 5 months of NoFap right now. Fantastic. What's your business? Have you started a business? How many jobs do you have? How many hours a day do you work? Do you work 10 to 12 hours a day? If not, why? Because if you're living on NoFap right now, you've got tons of energy. How are you using that energy? How are you prioritizing financial freedom? Let's see. On my way to 100K by next year. Man, I'm fired up outside my brain for you, Mohammed. Awesome. Semen retention is the key to achieving any goal. I agree. So, what are some other benefits of voluntary celibacy? No fears about accusations. Do you know that they happen these days? There are women these days, because of their issues, because of their burdens, and the more feminine you are, the more masculine she's going to be, meaning the more burdened she's going to be, which increases the probability that she will accuse you of rape. It happens. Maybe even if it was consensual, hey, she's got evidence that you slept with her, and if she says that she raped you, then that's going to be a problem for you. You're going to have to clean your reputation off of that for the rest of your life, most probably. And if you're voluntary celibate, the probability that you will get into that situation becomes very minuscule, and you'll never have it for the rest of your life, right? If you were to become a huge CEO or owner of a big company, or a presidential candidate, or whatever it is, people will go back to your past and see what you've done in the past. Oh, there was a rape accusation. Now, there you go. Interesting. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. But you're like, bro, it was consensual. I promise. You got no fears of that if you stay voluntary celibate at all, okay? Don't be the 1% who gets that accusation, or the 2%, or whatever it is. No unwanted pregnancies. Women say that they, oh yeah, I'm on, I use prevention, blah, 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 and contraception, do. Sometimes they lie. Why? Because they're burdened, okay? It's not their fault. They're the ones that have been burdened by other men. Men have burdened them, and women try to save themselves in the now and very often lie. Unfortunately, the more burdened and masculine they are, the more they lie. So, if you're feminine, which you probably are, if you can't manage to stay away from women, then the more likelihood it's going to be that she's lying to you sometimes. So what's that gonna cause? Well, maybe you'll get an unwanted pregnancy because she didn't use contraception as she said she would. And unwanted pregnancy, there you go. For at least for 18 years now, you have to pay alimony and a lot of other crap that comes into your life because of it. Yay, great, I got a son or a daughter, blah, blah, blah. But it becomes a huge stopper from you killing the dragon. Massive. Okay? I know someone who's been fighting a battle for literally the last 5 years of his life. Every single day he's been thinking about, how can I get my son? The woman, the mother of my son is a crazy ass bee, and she's basically ruining my son's life, and blah, I need to get him back, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he should have cut that relationship off and then basically massively become successful over time, and then grabbed his son and taught him the ropes of life when he turned 18. Okay, that's just an example. No drama. No drama. Voluntary celibacy gives you no drama, none so ever. Have you ever experienced a life without drama? If you haven't, it's time. You cut off that romantic relationship, there's no drama in your life. Oh my gosh. Single men discover this very early on. They're like, wow, actually, there's no one nagging me, no one wanting my attention, and I can simply focus on what I want to do when I want to do it. Oh my gosh, single life is amazing. The most fired up outside my brain I've ever been was the time when my wife was in 5 months. This is the first time we were separated over that span of time in 9 years. Okay, the longest before that had been like a week. I got 5 months, man, to be single, but stayed away from porn, stayed away from any romantic relationship. I wasn't flirting with anyone. I was solely focused on my business. The best time of my married life. Single. Interesting how that works, huh? There's a reason. Don't get involved in monogamy. Don't get involved in starting a family before you understand these philosophies of life. It's necessary. You won't be the exception to the rule of, well, I see some people being happy in marriage. It looks like they're happy. It looks like happy. Why? Because women are very good at marketing. And when they put out stuff on Facebook and Instagram and, oh, look at my hubby, he's so amazing. Inside that house, she's yelling at him on a continual daily basis, most probably. You just don't know about it because you're never there, and she makes sure that no one sees her before she starts yelling at him and slapping his face. Okay, that's women for you. And it's okay because it's his fault. It's not her fault. He's the one who created it, but she's very good at lying to the outside or putting up the facade that everything's wonderful with us. We have an amazing relationship, and they do have an amazing relationship, but really, like, it doesn't really work. Even for the best of marriages, they have issues. Let's see. So what am I saying here? Oh, okay, the biggest, I'm going to end with this now. There's 2 things that you need as a man of high value: confidence and commitment. Okay, commitment has to do with you being committed to truth, integrity, to honesty, to living with only the women that you commit with and commit to for the rest of your life. Commitment level. Okay, like, if you're not committed, you're never going to achieve any worthwhile goal, and you're basically going to go down in history as a zero, zilch, nothing. But if you are committed, you're going to achieve amazing things. Most people actually are nice guys and committed guys, okay? But they're not confident, because very often commitment level is somewhat like if you're committed to a woman, that's feminine. It's like you're committed in a relationship. For example, if a guy's feminine, he's going to be monogamous, and if he's monogamous, then he's committed to that girl and no one else. Blah blah blah. That's feminine. But if a man, that's masculine. If you understand what I mean. So, but confidence is also necessary for you to be masculine. Confidence comes from options. Okay, so if you've got tons of options, so let's say, for example, you needed a job. How do you get confidence in an interview? By having 20 other interviews, right? That's how you develop confidence. I don't need this person. I want to get this job, or maybe I want it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Let's see what they have to offer. That gives me confidence. That puts me in the driver's seat, me asking the questions. And then I've got another interview. I'm confident because I just had an interview, and I'm good at interviews because I've just tried all these different interviews, and let's see what you have to offer. Do you understand? This is how you develop confidence in terms of cash, in terms of sales and marketing and building a business, but it's also how you develop confidence with women. I just don't want you to be distracted by women right now. Eventually, you're going to date women to find those three, right? And at that moment in time, because you've learned sales and marketing and building up your business, Jim Rohn said, don't set the $1 million as a goal, not for the $1 million, but for who you become in the process. Basically, he's saying, set $1 million for the confidence that you attain in your life. It's not about the money. It's about power. It's about confidence. It's about the attraction that women have to you when you have that intense confidence that you have the ability to do anything. There's a solution to everything. I can protect. I can provide. You join me on my journey. That's masculine. So you set that's why you need to kill the dragon first, because you'll have an nth degree of confidence that helps you to attract the nth degree of top-notch women in your life later. Can you be 12 years old when you adopt these philosophies? I sure hope so, that you give this information to all the 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds that you know, for them to have this information, to practice human retention, voluntary celibacy, and not chase women, and quit school so that they can focus on building business. Okay, at 12 years old, that's when it starts. There's no reason why a 12-year-old should be stuck in school for 8 hours a day learning squat, zilch, nothing. 6 years of his life could be spent becoming a millionaire by the age of 18. And at the age of 18, he can choose his most amazing, beautiful 18-year-olds to join him in 3 Girls in Love, Responsible Polygyny. Wouldn't that be a lifestyle, huh? 18 years old, being a millionaire, and having the women of his dreams. If you're 12 years old, man, good for you. I'm fired up for you, man. Hire me as a coach as soon as you get those jobs. You need jobs, okay? In some places, you're not even allowed to work before the age of 13. That's like insane. So if you can't do that, then build businesses online every day, all of the time. Stop gaming. Focus on killing the dragon as soon as possible. It starts at the age of 12. Why? Because puberty starts at the age of 12. That's when you begin the motivation, the drive, I want this, right? But you got to focus on killing the dragon, and then you'll get your 3 princesses. So yes, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, all those guys. If you're 50 years old watching this, you know what to do as well. That's kind of what I want to say. Yeah, confidence levels. I was just saying that I can make a whole new video about this, but basically, the more you're able to control yourself, the more confident you're going to be. The more you're able to control yourself and your emotions, your thoughts, the more confidence you're going to have. That's the journey of life that you're going through from 12 years old, from whatever age you are, in moving towards achieving all of your dreams and goals and attaining them as fast as possible. Why waste your life? Why go through your entire life and wait with becoming rich until you're 40? Doesn't make any sense. We have the internet these days. There's cryptocurrency. There's like tons of ways to become rich. Are there still problems in the world? Yes. Okay. What is it that makes men rich? Problems. Solving problems. for a massive majority of people. If you do that, you'll become rich. That's it. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next one.